Okay guys, how are you doing? I hope it's well. I'm Moses from Learning Python. You're welcome. In this tutorial, you'll learn how to create a full stack web application by using Django, React.js, and the Django REST API framework by doing a project which is creating blog application. Our project will have two main parts, backend and front-end. In the backend will be the mixture of Django and Django REST API framework, whereby on front-end will cover React.js. Alright guys, the following are the requirements needed for you to do a project. The skills needed is JavaScript, React.js, Python, Django or Flask framework, Django REST API framework. Packages needed: Python, Node, React, Django API. Hardware requirement needed is at least computer with 4 RAM GB, 400 HDD, Core i5 and a processor of 2.5. Software requirement needed is Visual Studio Code, Postman and Google Chrome. Let's go guys. On desktop, create folder named blog. Then after, open it with Visual Studio Code. So open up a terminal. So that command will create Django backend project folder. Then you change the directory to backend. Let's create an application named core. So the command is changing from start project to start app. After that, if you see the structure of our directory, you can see this is Django root folder and this is Django application. So after creating Django project folder and the Django application, what we need to do is to make some changes of setting py file. Okay, but before we proceed, make sure you have installed the REST API framework, but also make sure you have installed the course headers. Okay, so let me copy the REST API framework from my desktop to the Django project folder. Okay, so after that, let's open setting py file and add some important configuration needed for our project. Okay, the first thing is to install the application. Okay, after install the application, let's add the course headers on middleware section. After that, let us add one line here at the very end of this folder. After that, Ctrl S to save the changes. Then after, you can open up a terminal once again. So the command will start Django project, and let's see what is happening on our browser. Let's create a model. So this is article model where all blog posts will be stored. Okay, so this is our model. It has two columns, the title of post and the description of post. After creating model, let's add the model to admin py file. Ctrl S to save the changes. After that, let's create the superuser for our project who will be able to log in Django default admin dashboard. So let's make migration, then after we'll create a superuser. Now let's create Django project superuser. Okay, so the username is Motec. Password is, I can't tell you my password. Password is Motec, username is Motec, never mind. So username is Motec and the password is Motec. But this is for development. In production, make sure you have a strong password. So here you can see, okay, user. So this is user, Motec. And here, let me show you. Okay. Here there is no token, but we can add a token. As we go further on React front end part, the authentication method to be used will be token. Okay. So every user will be authenticated by token, and every user will have token. But currently, let's create token manually for user Motec. But as we proceed, this token will be created by default when user is created. So let me add a token. So user is Motec, then I click save. After that, you can see this is token for user Motec. Okay. Another thing, I think Ctrl S to save the changes. Now you can see model article. Okay, let me click add. Let me add one article. Okay, safe. As you can see, we are now able to log in as admin. We are able to create user, and we are able to create articles. So that is, so let us create serializer. Here we start with serializer. In short, serializer is a way to return the Django query set or data into JSON format, which is supported by front-end framework like React.js, Vue.js, and Angular. As we everybody know that our front-end web framework is React.js, so we need to return all data contained in a model into JSON format, and that is supported to be fetched and to be manipulated by React.js, which is our JavaScript front-end framework. So in our application, let's create a file named Serializers py file. Then after, as I told you that our authentication method on a front-end React.js will be token. So we need a token for every user. Let's start to create a serializer for model article. Is article to create serializer for model user. But here I want to add something extra. User serializer. We don't need to return a password when our data are rendered on our REST API framework, or when our backend data are fetched by Postman. But also, password is required. You can't create a user on your front end without password. Okay, but also what we need is, once a user is created, we need to create a token for user. Okay, this is by default. As long as user is created, there must be a token for user to be created. So let's override the create method. So this is what I mean. Once user is created, also token for a user should be created. After creating serializer, let's create views. So we import model article. We import model user. Is user serializer. So we are done with creating user view set. So let's create article view set. So this is our user view set and the article view set. The next thing we need to do is to add this view set in URLs py file. Let's create URLs file in our application. From article view set, okay, that is so the URLs will be created or will be executed automatically by REST API framework routers. So we don't need to create URLs for create, edit, put, delete, and so on. So it will automatically create the URLs and execute everything. We go. Okay, so that is, hope this is okay. Router.urls, then extra bracket. So the next thing is to open the URLs py file of the main project folder. So I would opt to delete everything here. Okay, import obtain auth token. Oh, should it be like this? Yes, I think that's okay. Then the next thing is okay. So here must be like this. Then Control S. This should be core. Okay. So the next thing after creating serializer views and the URLs, let's go on a browser and test this. So quick one, let's test our API as the final part of our backend before we move on React.js. Okay, first of all, let's test it from our REST API. So once I click on API root, you can see we have articles and we have users. So once I click on users, you can see I get the list of all users. So once I copy something like this, then I paste here and I say ID1, or let me say ID2. Okay, you can see user instance. So user with ID2 is Moses. But here, if I add s and I use put method, this will update the name of user. Okay, password blank. Okay, say the password. I can say Moses. Okay, then you put. You can see username is updated, right? And once I come here, let me refresh. Once I click on users, you can see the name is updated. So then another method we can try is we are done with get method. Once I click get, you can see I fetch the ID and the username. Once I click delete, you can see, are you sure you want to delete user instance? So once I click OK, delete, I hope user is already deleted. As you can see here, we have only one user. Okay, we can do, let me click on articles. We can see, okay, these are our articles. So once I copy, all right, and I paste it here, let me say article 2, right? So once I can say how to use, let me say PostgreSQL in the Django. Okay, once I click here, you can see we can update. Okay, but once I click delete, okay, article list, you can see it is deleted. So this is how to test if your API methods works: get, post, patch, or put, and delete. So let's try out to test it in API. So let me take this. All right, paste it here. So get, I want to fetch the information of all articles. You can see I'm able to fetch the information of articles. What if I want to see article 1? You can see I'm able to see article 1. What if I want to see article 2? You can see not found. We have almost tested the functionality on our Django REST framework. Most of the time I use this to test all my API, and as you can see, it is provided with all popular method we use: get, put, patch, delete, head option. Okay, so you can post it. Okay, this is the form. You can post it, you can put, and so on. So that is okay. After doing the backend, now let's do the front end. Okay, I'll not create a React app from the scratch because I'm not connected to the internet, but let me show you the command used to create a React application. The command is npx create React app, then followed by React project name. Okay, so this is command npx okay, so it should be like this. Then make sure that you are connected to the internet, so as the default project structure can be fetched from online. So as here you can see I don't have internet, but make sure when you learn this command, you are in your project directory. Okay, so like here, make sure, let me copy this. Okay, then what I can do, change the directory. Okay, so as here you can see there are two directories, backend and the front end. So you should learn that command on your root project folder. Okay, so learn this command, then front end React project folder will be created. Okay, so after that, the next thing to do is, once you open packages.json, let me show you something here. You will need to install additional packages. Okay, make sure you install Axios, make sure you install React DOM, and it is pretty simple. Make sure you install React Router DOM. You can install Redux and Axios, but you will almost not use them. But they are vital for you as long as you are creating a bigger project. The React version, my React version is, you can see 18.1.0. So make sure you have the same React version, because the last tutorial for me to teach about React.js was a simple Cloud application, and I used the React.js 6 point something. But so far, from React.js 16 up to React.js 19, a lot of things have been changed. Okay, so make sure you have the same version like the version I have. Let's create a folder. Okay, inside the components we'll have article list, which is functional component to list the article. We'll have form, okay, component form, which will be used to post the articles and to edit articles. We'll have navbar, okay, component and API service. So let me start to create login. Okay, so this is React function. So here this is functional based components. Okay, so the next thing is, let's create another component, which is form. It is React functional component. Okay, let's create another functional component. I can say this is article list to display the articles from backend. Article list.js. It is also React functional component. Here I can say list of articles. All right, then let me create another. Okay, let me name it API service. API service.js. Okay, so far let me leave this blank as a blank. So let me close everything. Okay, then what we need to do, let me open up index.js. Okay, so in index.js, make sure you import React DOM. Okay, that's it. So here let me create function. I'm going to create a function called the router. Then you return, okay, return something. So here let me import something. Let me import something else. Route browser. Yes, let's see. Browser router. Okay, so let me import. So here in your return, let me do something like this. So let me Control S to save the changes. Okay, so here on app, let me say router. Let me Control S to save the changes, and then let's go on our browser. You can see login form. So this is a default page. So once user type our URL, we should be able to display the login form. So here what I'll do, I'm going to create just first let me show you something here. What if I do something like this? Articles. Okay, you can see hello world. So the first thing we are going to start working with is to display the list of articles on this page. Okay, but as we proceed, we'll make sure that once user type our URL is redirected to the login page, and the user cannot view articles, cannot post articles, cannot delete or update without logging in. So we'll use something cookies on browser, but so far we are going to proceed with articles. I mean, we are going to dive in deep on article listing. Okay. So in app.js, I needed to import article list. All right, thank you for autocomplete. Then after, what I can do here, I can call the component here. Yes. So let me Ctrl S to save the changes. So you can see a list of articles. So this has nothing to do with. Okay, so anything I change here in article list will be reflected over here. You can see. So that's it. So the next thing we are going to do is to use effect and the React hooks to fetch the list of articles present in our backend database. Let me open up article list JS. Okay, then after I'm going to write here props. If you don't know what is props, in short, props help us to pass data from child component to parent component. Okay, so that's all about props in React JS. Let me do something like this. Props dot articles, and let me say props dot articles dot map. So propsy dot articles and the propsy dot articles dot map. Then I can say return. Okay, so we need to return the article. So let me put here div. Okay, so here I needed to display the article title. Then the next thing to display is article body. So that is. So as I've told you that we needed to pass article from child component, which is article list, to parent component, which is app.js. So let me come here. So on app.js, what I can do here is to use effect hooks, okay, to fetch information from backend. This is why the functional component is now become popular, used by a lot of React.js due to its simplicity. We don't need to use class component as in the previous day to maintain the state of data in our component. We can use React hooks. So let me import use state from React. Okay, then after, okay, let me do something here. So let me create hooks. Okay, so let me say const So in short, when you are dealing with React hooks, so this is a current variable. This stores the current value, and the set this, the next one is to update this value. So this is value. I can say these are articles, list of articles, and this is function to update articles once we delete or update articles. All right. So after that, let me use effect. So the method is get. Then as we need to put token authorization. Okay, so here I can say authorization, because we don't want every user to fetch the articles. So only user with tokens are allowed to fetch the list of articles. And if I can take you back to the backend and show you in our serializer, you can see not in our serializer, in views. So you can see here article view set, we need authentication is token. So every user who want to fetch the list of articles should be authenticated by token. Okay, so for the time being, I'll use Superuser token. Okay, so let me use the token of Motec. I copy it. All right, we are good. So after that, let me say, after that dot then, because this will return a promise. Okay, response.json. Then after, let me copy this. So dot then, here I can say now we need set articles from our React hooks to update the current state of articles. Okay, so here I can say set articles so that's it. After using use effect hooks, I think we are done. So let me get back on the browser and let me try out to refresh. No, so we needed to path. I know what's happening. Okay, this is very simple. Let me do something like this. Okay, so let me come here and a path articles by using props. So here I can say articles. Let me Control S to save the changes. Okay. Here there is something wrong. Should be articles. Okay. All right, guys, now you can see we are able to see the list of articles. Okay, though there are some error. Okay, warning. Okay, so there is warning here. Each child in a list should have a unique key. Okay, so let me come here. So we have no error. Okay, but it's not displaying well. So let me show you something to do here. Let us link our React app with Bootstrap. Okay, so you can download the Bootstrap for static folder. Okay, then you put it in Node modules. Okay, I'll show you my static Bootstrap folder. So here I can say .css, Ctrl S to save the changes. Let me refresh. Okay, let me show you my Bootstrap. So on the front end, Node module. So this is Bootstrap, this is the dist, this is bootstrap.css. All right, so that is how we can link. That is how we can link our React application with a static Bootstrap. So the next thing to do here, let me do something. An article. So in the article, let me add something here. I needed to add the delete button and update button. Okay, I needed to add a delete button and update button, but also I needed to add the line separating each article. Okay, so here let me do something like this. I Ctrl S to save the changes. You can see there is a line. Okay, but what brings this line is let me come here in app.js. In app.css you can see this is class post line and these are CSS. Okay, alrighty, so make sure you add these lines in app.css. Okay, put this, but you can also put this for app, class name app. So let me come here. What I need to do next, I want to can say I want to so let me copy this. So here, as you can see, we have successfully loaded our articles. So the next thing is I would like you to put the navigation bar here on top of this article list. So let us add the nav bar on top of article list. .js, okay, something like that. Then I delete everything here. Ctrl S to save the changes. So this is our navigation bar. Learn Python. On a click, let me delete this. We are yet to implement logout. Okay, no logout, no login. You're not yet to implement register. Okay, that's it. So after that, let me come here in app.js. Let me import the nav bar. Okay, thank you. So after that, before we load the article component, let's load the nav bar here, something like that. All right guys, so let me come here. Oh, it's a little nice. You can see we are almost getting there. Okay, so after that, let me add the insert button here. Okay, and create the form for inserting for posting blog post. So let's create post button. Okay, so I'll open up app.js, and here before post, let's put our button. So you can see here we have created post button. Okay, so before we proceed, let's create a form for posting and editing this blog post, right? So in component, create new file. Okay, so inside the form.js, import React component. Okay, so it should be something like this. Then after here, let me pass a props property. I hope you already have an idea about props. Okay, these are the properties, or they help us to make this component communicate, send data between parent and child component. So here what I can do, let me do something like this. Just to do Ctrl S to save the changes. Here in app.js, let me import form. Okay, so you can see here there is a form. So let's create it. So here what I can do, so in short, this is our form. So the next thing to do here is to handle the event of update button. Okay, so I'll use this logic. So we start with article list. So in article list is where the update button is. Okay, so we will create a function in which we will take article to be updated and passes it in app.js. So let me open up article list. So here on update, let me create on click function. Okay, so this function will take an article. Okay, so here before we invoke the function, let's create this function. So here I'm going to create this function, const edit bit.n. Okay, it take article. Then after we need to pass this button and article to app.js by using props. So after that, let's receive this article in app.js. So we are done with this part number 1. Okay, so receive the article to be updated by using props and store it in use state hook. So here, what we can do here, how do we receive this? Let me open up app.js, and to receive this, I can do like something like this. So edit bit.n, we receive it and we store it in variable called the edit bit.n. So here I can say edit bit.n. Okay, then after, the next thing, store the article in use state hook. But before we store it, let us create this use state hook. Okay, so here in app.js, let me create this use state hook. Okay, this one is already created. It is edit article. Okay, and set edit article. So after that, after creating use state hook, now it's a time to store the article in use state hook, and this can be done by doing something like this. Here in app.js, I'm going to create const edit bit.n. Okay, so this takes article. Okay, then set edit article, then I pass the article. Okay, so that is so now the article is present in edit article. All right, so I can say we are done with this. So what we need here to do is to pass it in form.js. And how do we do this? Let me come here in the line where we have called this component, and let's pass this by doing something like this. Okay, edit so edit article. Okay, let me copy this and store it here. Edit bit.n, could not find edit bit.n. Did you mean edit bit.n? So I think there is, okay, this is edit bit.n. All right, and Control S, and here okay, here it is edit bit.n. Okay, Why does it say cannot find edit bit n? Okay, const edit bit n, Ctrl S to save changes. Okay, so I think there is something wrong here. So it is edit bit n. Could not find edit bit n. Did you mean edit bit n? So let me try something like this. Oh, what is happening? Okay, let me come here and try to do something. It is edit. Okay, let me try out to click refresh. Let me, okay, nothing happened. Okay, so this is edit bit n, and it takes an article, and here in app dot it is okay. So let me refresh here. Okay, nothing is wrong. So what we have done here, receive the article from app.js by using props. So here is what we have done. Form.js receive article by using edit article and store it in a variable called the article. So let me open up on form.js. So in form.js, create use state hook to store title and a description. Okay, so I need to create a two use state hook. So here I can say the first use state hook will be title, set title, the function to update the title, use state. Okay, another one is const, put a bracket. Here I can say description, comma, set description is equal to use state. Okay, should be something like this. So here you can see create use state hook to store title and the description. We are done with creating use state hook. Then the next thing, use effect hook to store the article to be updated in use state hook. Use effect hooks to store the article to be updated in use state hooks. So what we can do here is we can use state hook, use effect, not use it. Okay, use effect. Okay, and here props dot article. Okay, so what I can do here, I can say set title. Okay, set title bracket props dot article dot title, and set description is equal to props props.article.description. Alright guys, then after, so this is props. So Ctrl S to save the changes. So we are done with use effect hook to store the article to be updated in use state hook. The next thing to do here is to display the article title and the description to be updated in a form. To be updated in a form. So this is pretty simple. You just use value. Ooh. Put title here. Alright guys, and here I can put title, you can say value, description. Ctrl S to save the changes. Let me get back on the browser. Can refresh this. You can see nothing happening. So once I click update, you can see Python hello world. This is hello world. Once I click boom, you can see how to install Django. So after this, the next thing to do here is to be able to save, to handle the next button of updating. So after that, let's handle the submit, or I can say the update button. Okay, but before it, what I want to do here, I want to do something very tricky. So you can see here we are able to see the form. So what I want here, I want to hide the form, or to do not display the form at the first press until the update button is clicked. So how can we do this? Let me do on top of div, okay, div class, call smd7, add extra div above it, and add extra div at the end. Okay, then after, what you can do here, okay, let me show you something here. So once user click like this, you can see update button clicked. So this means, okay, wrap it with a bracket. Okay, it's okay. Then after, let me cut everything from here. Okay, what about this? So let me cut everything from here up to here. Okay, let me cut this. How many div? Okay, paste it here and add extra div while removing one div here. Okay, that's it. So once I refresh here, you will no longer see the form. Alright, it should be something like this. So once I click update, you can see we are able to see the form. Okay, but on the first press, when these pages load, you cannot see the form. So what next if we see the form? Boom, boom. Let me come here in form. Alright, so let me put this as not submit, I can say update, and the color is success. Okay, but I want to do something here, another. I can do something like this. If article, let me take this. If I'm able to get the ID of article, means someone wants to update. So let me paste it here, and here instead of saying null, I can do something like this. Here I can say this will be post. Okay. And the class will be primal. Control S to save the changes. Okay, you can see update. The next thing to do here is to handle this button. Okay, so how do we get there? So here in component, let me create another file. I can say API service .js. So here in API, I can say export default class. So it will take article ID and the body. Let me define my method, which is put for the case. Do something like this. Then body is equal to JSON.stringify. So this is our function to update article, but we need to create something to trigger this function. I hope you understand. So let me come here in form. Okay, so here I'll do something like this. I'll say on click to trigger the function. On click, Control S to save the changes. Then here on top, I would like to import API service. So this will take the article, okay, which is article to be updated, then send it in API service.update article is title, okay, which will be stringified by JSON and the description. So description. So that's it here. Let me say dot then. Let me say response. Okay. And here, okay. So here I can say okay, value should be something like this if I'm not wrong. Okay, yes, you can see I'm able to edit it. So let me also copy this and paste it. Okay, on change. Oops. So let me copy this up to here on change. Okay. On change. Here I can say set description to modify the use state. Yes. So let me get back here. So once I refresh this page, once I click on update, I can be able to edit. Okay, and I can also be able to edit. So what happens if I click update? Boom. Is there anything? Let me inspect. Okay, console. Uncaught promise resp.json is not regular formula, but let me see if it is updated. Okay. Okay, you can see it is already updated. So let me do something here. There is error here. It was saying the error was saying this is not in, it is here in the form. There is error. Okay. Okay. Let me leave something like this. So let me try out it to update. Okay, so let me say updated, and here updated. Okay, once I click update, you can see nothing shows, and once I refresh, you can see we are able to update both title and article. But what I want to do here is, once now we have updated, okay, we don't need to refresh the browser in order to see the changes. But how will we do this? We'll do this by using let me do something here. Let me open up this app.js, and here let me create a const for articles, okay, dot map. I think you know what is articles. It is here, articles fetched or updated by use effect here. So I can say dot map here. I think let me see where does this end. So here at the end it should be something like this. Okay, new article. Let me Ctrl S to save the changes, and here in forms I can say props. Here I can say props dot update article, not update article, update information, update info mention. What is the name? Update information. This should be should be something like this. Let me Ctrl S to save the changes. Updated information should be passed here in article list. Okay, should be passed. I think something like this, if I'm not wrong. Should be here. Let me Ctrl S to save the changes. Let me refresh this. Alright guys, so let me click here. Okay, let me say updated it too, and I click save, and quote props.update information is not a function. What is this? Okay, dot zen labs props. Okay, let me see what is happening. Updated information should okay, let me see. Updated the information should be okay. Let me put you here in form. Okay, let me refresh here. Okay, let me click something like this. Wow, we are now able to update. So we are now able to update without refreshing. So let me see how to install Python. In this session you will cover the installation of Python. Okay, once I click update, wow, you can see we are able to update the article. So this is how to update the article. Before we create a post, okay, let me show you something. We needed to create this form after editing. Okay, what I mean is, let me click here. Let me say updated to. So once user click, boom, I needed to create this form. So how do we do this? Let me come here. Okay, let me come in up here. So here I can say this will create the form. All right, guys, so let me refresh this. So let me say how to install Django. So once I click, boom, you can see the update is done, but the form is also cleared. So the next thing to do here is to create a post. Since we have done editing of a post, creating a post is pretty simple. Okay, it's effortless task. So the button is present in app.js. okay, so let me come here. This is button. So here what I can do, let me click to trigger the form to open up. Okay, but what I can do here, here I can click. Okay, let me click. Description will also be empty, something like this. After that, article form. So then, what if I click this? Oh, the form is, boom. Okay, the form, now we can see the form. So after that, if I click this, you can see here I have update and the content of post to update. But once I click create, you can see I can see the post form. So the next thing to do here is to handle the event of this post button. Okay, it is present in form, so we're going to open up form.js here. Okay, and our button is here. Okay, so here I can say on a click, instead of update article, I'll say insert article. Okay, then I'll need to create this function. But before, let me come here in API services. Okay, then I can copy this function. Okay, I can copy this. Oh, let me copy this. Let me paste it here. Okay, here it is not update article. Can say this is insert article, and this text body, it does not take the article ID. The method will change, no worry. Okay, the next thing, let me remove this. This is URL to post, but the method is not put, but the method is post. The content type, application, and the blah blah blah, these are the same. So that's the only changes. Okay, let me Ctrl S to save the changes, and let me come here in form, insert article. Okay, let me copy this. Okay, this is pretty simple. So here it is not update article. I'll say this is insert article. Okay, and here is insert article, inserted information. And let me come here in app.js. Here we had const updated information. So let me create another. Let me say const articles, then I add or append the end of the present articles. So do something like this. Okay, should be something like this. Then after that, blah 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 expected. Okay. Should be something like this. Okay, now we are good to go. So inserted information. So let me come here in form. We have updated information. So let me copy this and paste it here. I'll say this is inserted information. All right, guys, I hope it's cool. Inserted information, and here I can say inserted information. Oh, boom, 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 boom. Okay, I think nothing has remained. So let me see. So once I create a post, let me say to see what is happening. Okay, let me come here. You can see Flask tutorial. But we cannot see, we cannot update. There's something wrong. There is something wrong. Okay, updated, inserted information, and it should be something like this. All right, guys, so let me try out. Oh wow, this is amazing. So let me try out to add another blog post. So I can say hi learning Python. Hi learning Python. Once I click a post, you can see hi Python. This is the channel for learning Python, and the form is cleared. Okay, so now we are done with update and insert. The next thing to do is to implement delete. And the delete is pretty much simple, as you can update and you can insert. So after inserting an article, it's the time to delete the article. Okay, so what we can do here, everybody know that the delete button is present in article list.js. So let's go straight forward to article list.js. Okay, and here you can see the delete button. Okay, guys, so what I'll change here, this will be delete button, delete bit n. As normal as usual, it will take the article. Okay, let me go to service.js. What I can do here, let me copy this update. Okay, let me copy the update method. Okay, guys, then I paste it here. So here I'll do some few changes, like it will also take ID, but it will not take body. Here let me say this is a delete article. So let me delete this. No. Okay, in form or in article list here, let me copy this. So this will be delete button, delete bit n. Think you understand what is going on. And here also let me copy this. So this will be delete bit n. Delete bit n. Okay guys, after that, so this is article list, delete bit n. So let's create delete bit n. Okay, so here const delete bit n to filter the article to be deleted. Here it will be return false. Oh, what is this? Okay, return false. Okay, here it will be return true. To be returned true. So once I go in form, should it be this in form, or should it be in article list? This article list. Okay. Okay. So once someone click this const delete, it should be, let me change something here. Okay, so it should be okay, so it should be API service dot delete article dot log error. Okay guys, okay, let me refresh this. So what happens if I delete? Wow, you can see we are able to delete. I can delete everything. So we are done with create a post, edit a post, and delete. Okay, so the next thing we are going to do here is to implement the login and register. Okay guys, in the previous part we covered how to delete a blog post, and this is Django and React.js tutorial series on how to create a blog. So in this part we are going to cover how you can create a login and a logout, but I'll not write coding from the scratch, so I'll explain the code I have prepared. But no worry, I'll prepare the separate full tutorial which will comprise the register and login by using Django and React.js. So as you can see, this is our login page, which is our main page. Alright, so this is our form. Okay, so let me go in our code. Okay, so inside the components, create a file and name it login.js. After that, let me explain some source code for you. As you can see, so you need to import this. Okay, after that, I created 2 React hooks for username and password, and I created 1 React hook for storing cookies on the browser or for manipulating of cookies. And the next thing, this is for navigation or page redirection in React.js. This is another, okay, React hook which store the state of user is login true. Okay, so let me show you where is our login form. So this div renders our login form, okay, up to here. So I'll tell you scroll. So here, this is input. Okay, this is input for username. As you can see, the value is username. Okay, the placeholder is enter. Oh, the placeholder, okay, excuse me. So this should be enter username. Okay, on change is e set username e.target.value. You know that set username is React hooks method to update the value of username. Okay, so this applies the same to password. So here on the section of password, you can see the value is password. Class name is from control placeholder enter password. On change is e set password e.target.value. All right, so that's it. And here we have a button. I can show you. Here we have two buttons. Okay, we have button for register and we have button for login. Okay, we have almost two buttons. Okay, one button for login, another is for register. Okay, that's it. But here, as you can see, we are using is login. So if the concept is very simple, if oh Jesus, if user want to log in, we need to display the message that please log in. Okay, but if user don't want to log in, we'll display the message that please register. Let me repeat, is log in. That's why we study the value of is log in is equal to true. Okay, so is log in. If user want to log in, we need to display the message that please log in, and I can show you here. And if user want to register, we need to display the message that please register. Let me click here. So if I click register, you can see please register. This means that once I click register, is login value is set to false. Okay, but if I click login, is login value, okay, become true. That's why you can see the title change because of is login value change from true to false. I hope that's clear for you. Okay, never mind. Okay, so the next thing here, we have two buttons. We have button for login and we have button for register. The concept is the same. If user want to log in, we need to display the login button. But if user don't want to log in, we need to display the register button. And here on login button, this is the part we are going to implement. You can see button on a click, set login false. Okay, register. But here on a click is login bit n. So let's check this. Okay, this function where it is executed. Okay, so login bit n. Let me show you this function. So this is our function login bit n. Okay, it takes username and the password and it checks if the username and the password they are null or they are null. I mean if they are empty. So if they are not empty, okay, here the output is username and the password are set. Let me show you something here so as we can go together. Alrighty, so if I click login, you can see username and the password are not set. But if I put the name here, if I put the username and the password and the click in on the click on login, you can see username and the password are set. Okay, so that is the purpose was to check and ensure that user does not submit an empty form. Okay, after that, here you can see there is api.service.login user. This function takes username and password and returns user token. Okay, it returns user token and save it on the browser by using React hooks set token method. Okay, if there is error, it will display here, but if username and password are not set, user will be navigated or will be redirected to the to the home page. Okay, so let me show you this method, which is login in API service. Okay, so let me come here. Okay, let me click API service and show you the login. So this is our login. Okay, login, fetch, the URL is this, and the post, it takes body, it is stringify body, which is the username and the password. After execution, it will return a response, so it will return the token of the user. Okay, so if user is present in your database, it will return the token. Okay, token number. But if user does not exist, it will return undefined token. Let me show you here. Let me show you something here. That's why I've told you that I'll need to create a separate tutorial on login and register by using Django and React.js. Okay, so let me show you something here very interesting. Okay, so let me refresh this. As I told you that if user is not present in database, okay, this function login user will return undefined token. Okay, let me delete this. Okay, so let me put the wrong username and the password so as I can show you how our method login user returns undefined token. So let me say the username is Noel and the password is Noel. So once I click login, okay, you can see my token, the value is undefined. Okay, because the user Noel, there is no user Noel with password Noel. Let me show you the list of our users. Okay, so let me log in here. You can see the list of users Noel, but the password is not Noel. Okay, I can try another user. Let me say user is demo, password is demo. Okay, once I click login, oh, okay, the same, you can see undefined. Okay, but if I put the correct username and the password, which is Motec, okay, once I click login, you can see I'm able to log in on articles, and here you can see this is my token. Okay, console, this user token is this one. So this is how to authenticate user. But not only that, here in login, you need something another. You need to write this use effect hooks. Okay, it will retrieve the token from token. Okay, then after it will compare. So here this is a simple check, and I'm going to explain for you. Okay, so if the token, if user token is undefined, user should be redirected in root, I mean in the index page of our web app. But if the token is correct, user should be redirected in articles. So this is the whole concept. So let me log out here, and application. So let me log out and show you something here. Let me show you something very interesting. Yeah. So let me show you something here. Okay, guys. So this use effect hook will check if the okay, so login function, okay, the execution will start from here on login. Okay, so if the credentials are correct, I mean username and the password are correct, this function, okay, and this function, okay, they will return user token and save it on the browser by using set token. Okay, if the credentials are correct, the user token will be saved on the user browser. But if the username and the password are wrong, undefined token will be saved in the browser. So this is check. So our use effect will check if token are undefined, it means this user should log in once again. But if the token are correct, user should be redirected in articles. I hope that's clear for you on login. Okay, first thing, make sure you have these React hooks. The next thing, make sure you create this function login, which will receive information from the front end, send them to the back end, and return the response from back end. Okay, then after you will have to create this use effect hook. So that is all about login. So let me explain for you the logout. Okay, so logout is okay in navbar.js. Here you can see there is logout. Okay, and on click logout bit n. So in app.js, the logout is very simple. Const logout remove token my token. So we remove the token which were saved in the browser when when a user with correct credential was authenticated. I hope that's clear for login and logout. The key thing is get the concept first. Never mind about the source code. I'll upload them on my GitHub on my GitHub repository, but also I'll create the separate tutorial on how to log in and log out in Django and React.js. So the next thing we are going to cover is register a user. Okay, after that we will set the background image on the login. Okay, before doing or before implementing the functionality of registering a user in the database, we'll set up a background image to make our web app more attractive. But after that, we'll implement register. Then after we'll just do some wind up before we close the session. Okay, I hope this session is very enjoyable for you. Put comment on how or what is your experience when creating login and register by using Django and React.js. Where do you stuck? Where do you do well? Let's exchange ideas on the section of comment below. All right, guys. So before we go to register user, let me explain you the concept of a background image. So this is our front end. This is public, and here there is a folder called the image, and here is where I store my images. Okay, so I want to load this image. Okay, so what I can do here, I can create a login style. So this is my login style, and the URL is public URL plus image 18.jpg, and these are the images properties. Okay, and another thing is so here this is div row, this is class name call sm4, it starts from here and ends here. So add another div, this one. Okay, class name is called sm8 for image, style is login style, we have already declared here. Okay, login style. After that, your login page should look like this. Sup guys, let's do the register user functionality. Okay, so here we need, as you can see, this is our login. It is too similar. Okay, and this is our register. Okay, this is our register, so it's almost the same. It takes username and the password. It takes username and the password. This set the token because we know that every registered user has token to authenticate. Here we don't set token, okay, because the user is initially or is at the first place created the token. So this is our function, and it execute here. Okay, API service register user, and let me open up API service register user. So our URL is this, post stringify is almost similar to this. The only difference is only URL. So you'll no need to write the register user. You just copy and change here on the URL. Okay, so that is, let me show you here on login. Okay, let me show you here in login. Okay, here in login, as you can see, okay, let me show you here. So if user want to log in, we'll display the login button. Okay, but if user want to register, the form will be handled by register btn function. Okay, which is this one. We register btn. Okay, register btn. So this was all about registering a user in Django and React.js. So let's try out to register user. So let me say user is Sarah. Okay, Sarah. Okay, Sarah. So let me come here. I want to register. So once I click register, Sarah is already registered. Okay, and if I come here and I refresh on users, okay, let me log in. No worry, log in as Motec. Login as Motec. You can see there is user Sarah, and once I come here on section of tokens, you can see the last token will be of user Sarah. Okay, you can see user Sarah. So user Sarah has token. So let me try out it to create a posting. Okay, hi, I'm Sarah Python. I'm Sarah Python. Hi guys, and let me try out to post it. You can see, hi, I'm Sarah Python. Hi guys. She can update. Okay, she can update the article. All right, or she can delete the article. So that's all about our blog post. But one thing, we are going to change one thing before we close the session. As you can see here, token used is token of root user. Okay, we are using token of Motec. Okay, so what we want to do here, As you can see, the token of user Motec starts with A2 and ends with 2B. Okay, so we are using the token of user Motec. The next thing to do is to make sure that every user will use his or her own token to authenticate when creating a post. So we don't want user to use the token of Motec. So that will be the very simple change. Okay, so that is what has remained before we close our awesome session of Django and React.js blog post. Okay, so let's start to make some changes. So open up form.js, add this line, import cookies. Okay, then after add another line, this. Okay, use to access the value of token. Then after, let's come here in insert. Okay, in insert we need to pass token, insert article, add this. Okay, comma token. Then in API service, insert article, we need to pass token, and here we need to put token. So this applies the same. So this is insert. So let's go on delete. Okay, okay, where is the delete? Okay, let's go to update. Okay, so here body. Okay, let's pass token. Then after here, okay, it should be token. Okay, so that is, it takes token, it passes here. Okay, and here we have so this is update. Okay, okay, so let me put something like this, token. Okay, okay, update article. Let me try out, let me refresh. We know that we are logged in as user Sarah, so let me try to update this. If we can update, okay, so we can update. So let's make some changes on delete. Okay, insert, update. Okay, so let's open up article list. Okay, on article list here we have PI article ID. So let me put here token. Okay, let me copy this. Ctrl S to save the changes. Okay, let me copy the token. Let me put it anywhere. I can put first of all, let me come here. Okay, let me put it here. Ctrl S to save the changes. Const delete article. Okay, so let me copy this. Okay, so let me copy this and put it here. It should be here. Control-S to save the changes. Let me go on API service. Insert. This should also be token. Let me copy this. Control-S to save the changes. Let me come here, refresh. Okay, let me try to delete this. We can delete. Okay, we can update. We can insert. So let me log out and log in as GMC. There is user GMC. Okay, let me try out to update, if I can update by using GMC's token. Okay, let me try to delete. It's okay. Let me try to create another post. Then let me post it. So let me log out. Thank you guys for having me from the beginning of our tutorial series up to the end. This was Django and the React.js blog post. We have covered the all code application like create, view, delete, insert, and the log in and the log out. So thanks. Put comment below. How was the session? How do you feel like to create an amazing or awesome blog app like this? So the next thing to remind you, not forget to like, put comment, and subscribe. But I've told you that I'll create a separate tutorial on register and log in Django and React.js, so as to make this thing very clear for you. Thanks. See you in the next tutorials.